Okay, so let's start. Today I'm going to be explain about this small requirement. Okay, so the assignment given to me is about small requirement about the creating the database and creating the four tables and getting the data from the four tables. Okay, so this is what the assignment. Okay, so first to achieve this assignment, first you need to be install the PostgreSQL. Okay, PostgreSQL you need to be installed. So you can get the URL from the Google. Okay, so once you install the SQL, once you install that software, so you are going to be get the you go to the search and just type the Postgre or admin. Okay, so you can see here PG admin. Just click on that one. So you will get this kind of window. Okay, and so initially you don't have initially they have a database. Once you install it, you will get the Postgre. This is the default database. You will get it. Okay, so you need to be create the database first. How to create the database? So just click on the databases. Okay, and right click and click on the create. Okay, here you can see here database. Okay, so see, there is a two ways to be create the database. One is you can through the GUI also you can create the database. Just you give the name, it's automatically going to be created. Okay, and one more you can see here. Click here SQL. Okay, see, first of all, what is SQL? I'm going to be explain you about the short about the SQL. Okay, so see, basically SQL is a query language. Okay, so SQL is a query language. Whatever you're writing, that some query structure, so it's going to be execute. Let's suppose I'm communicating with you, so this is the English, right? So if I want to be communicate with the database, one language is needed. So developer used to be write the language. Developer is write the language in the SQL query. So by using this SQL commands or SQL queries, it's going to be get the data from the database. Okay, so now let's go to the, so how to create a database? What is the syntax? So create database, any database name. Okay, database name. Okay, this is the syntax. Okay, so our requirement is we need to be create the database for the bookstore assignment. Okay, so this is the bookstore. So just here you need to be go here, just type, see here, just go here, bookstore underscore assignment. Okay, this is how you are going to be, so automatically query is going to be generated. Okay, so this is how you are going to be create the database. This is the first step to creating the database. Okay, guys, remember one point. See, under one database you can create the tables, triggers, indexes and all. Okay, first is database. After the database, in the under database you have the tables. You can create n number of the tables. Okay, in one database you can create the n number of the data tables. Okay, so remember this point. Okay, so this is how you are going to be create the database. Okay, so just you save automatically. So already I have this name. Okay, bookstore. Okay, so once you save it, automatically it's going to be create the database. This is the this is the process of the creating the database. Okay, so you can see here. So where is once how to create, now you are going to be create the tables. How to create? There is a two ways. So see, create, you can create the go here, one second. And one more important point, to run this query languages, you need to be you need this kind of window query. So how to get this window? Just go right click on this one, create a SQL script, create a script. So then automatically you will get this, and whatever you type this query here, right, it's going to be you're talking to the actual database, you're talking to the database. Okay, so it's going to be create the tables, it's going to be create the, it's going to be create the triggers, it's going to be create the all the database objects, all the database object. What are the database objects are there? Tables are there. Let me write down. Index are there. Okay, and you have the triggers, triggers are there. Cursors, cursors are there. Triggers, cursors, index. Store procedure, store procedure. Okay, so these all the database objects, remember. Okay, so now our requirement need to be create the table. What is the syntax for the creating the table? So let's go to my document. So first I'm going to be create the, yeah, you can see here. Yeah, this is the first I'm creating the table, create a table books. Okay, so I will explain you. Okay, now let's see here. So this is the syntax for the creating the table. Okay, and what is this integer? Integer is a data type, and this is the primary key. What do you mean by primary key? What is primary key? See, primary key, it's a primary key is a index. Okay, what it will do? So it will, primary key will not allow duplicate values. Duplicate values, if you create any column, if you create any column in the table, primary key, it will not allow the duplicate column. It's going to be maintain the unique records. It's going to be maintain the unique record. For that purpose, we are going to be create the primary key. What is the syntax? So this is the book id is a column name. Integer is a database integer. So what is the syntax to create the table? Let me write down the syntax. Create table, this is the table name. Okay, and then here you have the column name, and here you have the data type. Data type means which kind of data you're going to store in that column. For that reason, you have a data types. And here, let's suppose if you want any index like primary key, foreign key, you need to be give that num. Okay, so right now we are creating the primary key on this column. So primary key. Okay, so like this. Okay, and this is the title, and this is the another column. Okay, and the varchar basically integer is used for the storing the integer values. Okay, varchar is using for the storing the character values, like string values. You can say string values you are going to be stored using this varchar data types. Okay, and next thing is here one more, we are using the not null constraints. Okay, see, primary key is a index and not null is a constraint, so don't confuse. Okay, not null is a constraint. Constraints means it's going to be, we have a 6 types of the constraints. Okay, so it's going to be restricts. Not null means it's, if you give this constraint not null, right, in this it will not allow any kind of null values. Okay, suppose if you don't give any kind of data, let's suppose you are inserting the record in this book table. If you don't give any kind of data to this column, so automatically it's going to be in database going to be insert the null. Okay, so to maintain mandatory, so to validate, so before inserting you must be give some value. So what we need to do, we need to be add some constraints. Okay, so we have not null constraints. So what it will do, suppose if you are not giving any kind of data to this column, so it's going to be throw error. Boss, you're not giving any data, so you must be give some kind of data. Okay, so nulls are not allowed. So that's the reason we have the not null constraints. Okay, and the second column we have the varchar, not null also we are doing, and the unique, and one more, you can see price column, you have a decimal. This is a decimal data types, guys. Okay, and quantity is a integer, quantity integer. And one more important point, you check here, one more we are using not null check. Two constants are we are using here, two constants in this column. Which column? Stock quantity column, we are using the two constraints. One is not null and again is a check constraints. So two constraints at a time, we are applying the two constraint. What is the check constraint? Check constraint will checking that zero should not be there, greater than the stock quantity. Well, let's suppose you are inserting some books, right? You must be have at least quantity 1 greater than 0. Okay, it should not allow. Let's suppose if you are mentioning the 0, it's throw the error. Okay, so this is the books table. Okay, again summarizing this books table. So the first column is a book id, integer is a data type, primary key we are using. Why we are using the primary key? To maintain the unique records. Title not null we are taking, to should not allow the null values. Okay, author varchar, not null, this is also not null, it must be have some value, some name. Okay, so and varchar unique, and the price decimal, not null we are checking, not null we are checking, should not be have null, and we are applying the null, not null, we are applying the not null and check constraint. Okay, so hope this is the clear for your table. And we are creating this table as per as the requirement given that should not have a duplicate values, should not have a null values. That's the reason. So all these things we apply to this table. Okay, so hope this is you cleared about the books table. Okay, so how to create it, just copy and paste that one. So let's go to here, copy this one, just copy here and just to paste it. Okay, so already I have the table. Okay, I will show you the where I have the tables. So let's go to the schema, let's go to the wait a second, tables. Yes, you can see here I have the books table. Okay, so these all the columns are there, you can see here, book id, title, name. Okay, suppose if I try to be insert this table again, it's going to be throw me error. Why? Books already exists here, because already this table name is there, so it will not allow. So this is how you are going to be create the books table. Okay, let's go to the another table. So this is the query. Second table, a customer table. Customer table, we are taking a customer id, integer and primary key. I told you right just now about the primary key. Primary key should not allow the duplicate values. Null primary key, two things, remember this point. Primary key, duplicate values and null values, it will not allow. Let me write down this point. Primary key will not allow, this is important, maybe you will get in question this one. Okay, primary key, why the primary key, maybe interviewer going to be asked you the question, why the primary key. So primary key will not allow duplicate values and it will not allow null values. And one more index you have, I will tell you, unique also one more index you have. Okay, so sorry, yes, unique key also, primary key, no, indexes we have it too. This primary key, we have the constraints, primary key is a constraint, unique key is a constraint, not null is a constraint, these all the constraints. Okay, primary key is a constraint, unique key. Index are two types. What are the indexes? One is clustered index and non-clustered index. Don't confuse between the index and constraints. Okay, non-clustered index. Okay, so one more important point, when you create the primary, a clustered index is going to be created. Okay, what is index, what is the use of indexes? To it improve search speed. Okay, suppose if you don't have any index on the table, it's going to be do the it's going to be do the complete table scan. Okay, if you have an index, it will not do the it prevent from the indexes, help to be prevent from the table scan. Okay, if index is going to be improve the performance, it's going to be increase the speed. Okay, so that's what your index. So indexes are two types, one is clustered index and non-clustered index, remember this point. Primary key, unique key, these all the constraints, guys, don't confuse. So constraints, okay, primary key, unique key, these all the constraints. Okay, so that's it. Primary key, remember, interview questions you will get is what is the difference between the primary key and unique key, what is the difference? So difference between these two is, it unique key allows one null value. Okay, primary key will not allow the null value. Okay, so now let's go to this table quickly. Customer, I'm creating customer id, integer, primary key, first name, varchar, not null, email, unique key. Okay, this is how we are going to be use the table. So how to create it? Just to copy this query, copy this table and execute it here. Just to copy it, Okay, so just to paste it here. Okay, customer ID integer, first name varchar. I'm giving the size. This is the size, length of the size, first name, last name, email, 100. Okay, unique. And here you remember this point here, using the unique key, it will not allow the, it will allow one null but unique values. Okay, that's the thing. Okay, so now let's go to the another thing. So we created the this one, and next thing is, yeah, next thing is order table. Okay, this is the order table, RID, primary key, and here we are using the reference foreign key. What is the foreign key? Any idea about the foreign key? Foreign key is, if you want to be, this is foreign key also constraints. Remember, this is the one constraint, primary key also two constraint. Okay, foreign key, basically foreign key helps to, what is the advantage about the foreign key? Relate the create, it helps for creating parent and child table relation. Okay, so relation, it helps to create the parenting, it helps to create parent and child table relation. Okay, to it's basically foreign key helps for the relation. Okay, so let's suppose if I create, let's suppose you have a two tables, table A, table B. If I want to be, I want to be get the all the data, I want to be combine these two. I mean to say that I want to be make a relation. Let's suppose parent table and child table, then this foreign key is going to be help me out. Okay, so in our cases we are creating the orders. Okay, suppose if I do some order, right, I must be have some order of customer ID. Suppose I'm doing the order, let's suppose you are calling for the pizza, so definitely you are going to be take the order from the customer name, customer details is needed, right? For that reason you must be have the foreign key relation, because all the customer, why the foreign key, why we are taking the foreign key, why we needed this relation, because I cannot store all the customer details in this table. Suppose if I try to be store all the customer details, it's going to be big data, because lots of orders are there. Let's suppose some thousands are there, some thousand orders are there per day. I cannot store all the customer detail, like customer name, customer mobile number, everything. This data is going to be repeat. So to avoid those kind of things, just that's the reason we are using the foreign key. Okay, so foreign key, so we are going to be create the foreign key. We are linking foreign key means linking the two columns. Let's suppose this order table, and we are doing the customer table and order table with one common column name, that is customer ID. Okay, so this is how you are going to be relate this, you're creating the relation between this order table and the customer table. So this is the foreign key. What is the structure? Foreign key, customer ID, reference customers, this is the table, and this is the column, you're giving the column. Okay, so this is how you are going to be create the orders table. Okay, so now next table is, so order items. So order items, primary key, we are using order ID, book id, quantity, price. Primary key again, we are doing the, and we are creating the primary key on the order IDs and book IDs. Okay, so combining these two and we are creating. Okay, foreign keys, we are taking the order IDs and book ID, these two we are combining. Okay, is it clear, right? See, here is the two or things are the unique keys. Okay, two are the order ID and book ID. Okay, so this is the order items. Okay, so this is how we are going to be create the order items table. Okay, so now let's go to the task 2. Task 2 is inserting the data. See, I'm inserting the data into the books table, book ID, author name. This is a sample data I'm using. So what is the structure for the insert into book? Okay, and these are the column names and values. These are all the values. Okay, the 5 values we are inserting. This is how we are inserting. This is the query. Same thing for the customer ID, first name, last name, phone number, values. Okay, and next thing is same thing, order and everything, same inserting order items, book id, book ID, quantity, and price I'm giving. Okay, so this is how. And remember one point, when you have the parent and child relationship, right? So let's suppose child, you are going to be insert the data. The first you should have a data in the a parent, then only you can insert the data in the child. Okay, I will tell you one point. Let's suppose you have a two tables. Let me understand this thing. Okay, you have a table A, table 1. Let's suppose you have a table A and table B. Okay, we are creating the primary, foreign key relation. This is the parent table. Okay, this is the parent table. Okay, and this is the child table. Okay, so you cannot insert the data. Let's suppose take this one is here order ID, order, sorry, this is the order ID, and here also one. Let's suppose take this one is a order table. This table name is a order. Okay, and this is a customer table. Let's suppose take this is a customer table. Okay, customer table and order. Okay, suppose we are creating the foreign key on the customer ID. Okay, customer ID, I'm creating the foreign key. Okay, so let's suppose in table A you don't have any customer. Let's suppose you have a zero records. Okay, so you cannot insert the new customer ID here. If you try to be insert the customer ID 1 here, you will get an error. Why? So whatever you are inserting the customer ID, it must be there in the parent, otherwise you cannot insert into the child. This is the most important, guys. Okay, so if you are inserting in the child data, if you are inserting any record in the child, it must be, especially whatever the columns are there, customer, it must be checked in the parent. If the record is there in the parent, then only you are able to insert that column in the child table. Otherwise, it's going to be throw error. This point is most important. Okay. So now inserting the records. Okay, now let's go to the task 3. Okay, so what is the first one? Show all the books currently in the stock. So what is the query? This is the query to get the records. This is the query to get the records. So these are the column names: book ID, title, author, stock quantity from the books. Stock quantity greater than zero. I am putting some where condition. So whatever the stock is there, the quantity must be greater than. So to I want to be get the how many quantities, how many books are there. I want to be get the all the books. So this is the query where I'm adding the where condition, and this is the order by. Order by, what it will do, whatever you get the result set, right? So it's going to be order based on the titles. Okay, let's suppose order is going to be use the whatever the result you will get, right? To you want to be make a order, let's suppose ascending order. Let's suppose you are taking the customer data. Okay, customer name, you want data, whatever result you are getting, you want all the customer with, it's going to be start with ascending order, like A, B, C, like that. So that case, this order is going to be help you out. So it's going to be sort your data. Okay, so to show all the books currently in the stock, this is the query. Select book ID, title from book tables where quantity must be greater than. If it is a quantity is there, then only I will get the all the stacks. Okay, the next query, this is how you are going to be get the result. Second, find the customer name. What is the query? Just where condition. Customer ID, first name, last name, email, phone number from customer, where last name you give, whatever the name. Okay. So this is how you are going to be get the, and one more important I would like to add here. Suppose I want customer name, customer last name, which is going to be start with S. See, this is the some difference are there. Remember this point. Interviewer going to be ask you the question. I want customer name which his last name contains Smith, or let's suppose his last name contains uh, Rahul. Let's suppose his last name contain S. So how I need to be get it? So that's the reason we have a like operator. So use the like operator and put the percentage. So it is going to be skip whatever is there. Just it is going to be check the last letter is yes. Okay, remember this is maybe interviewer going to be asking the question. So this is the direct last name. If it is any customer whose last name is complete in this column, last name column, Smith is there, you will get this kind of data. But my question is, sometimes I want last name, last letter is yes. I want the customer name. I want the customer list whose last name, which last letter is yes. For that case, you are going to be use the like operator. Equal to will not work. Equal to work when you complete word need to be matched. The like operator only for one string or two string. Let's suppose I want two character. Let's suppose I want to be take the uh, let's suppose you have the customer name is uh, Rahul. Rahul. I want, let's suppose the customer name is Rahul. Okay. So I want all last name is UL. So I want the customer names whose last name, last two letter is a UL. In that case, you are going to be use a like operator and this percentage operator. Okay. So in this case, this is going to be help you out. Okay. So now this is the second one. Third one is calculate the total sale current month. Okay. This is the most important. So to get the current month, extract year from the order. So from the order, extract year from the current date. Okay, current date. So this is the function, guys. Remember this point. Current date, it's a current, it is going to be return the current date. Let's suppose, let's go to here, select current date. So it's going to be return me, if you execute this query, it's going to be return me current year. Okay, remember these are the predefined functions, predefined the functions. Okay, so yeah, next thing is year from the current date. Okay, yeah, next thing is extract month from the order date, extract from the month from the current date. So it's going to be get the month from the current date. In the current date, it's going to be get the month. So I want current year and current month. Okay, so this is the query to be get the current year and current month. Okay, from, so I'm going to be get the month. Okay, so these are the two ways, guys. One is this is the one way and another is this one, order date equal to. Okay, so these two ways you are going to, you are extracting the year and you are extracting the month from these two, and you are matching. See, you are extract, this is the extract function. It's going to be get the year from the order date. It's going to be get the year from the current date function, and you're mapping. You're getting, you understanding what I'm trying to say? Extract functions, it's going to be get the year from the order dates and year from the current date, and extract month from the order date and extract the month from the current date. So this is the two way. This is the one way, this is the another way. So date underscore trunc function, it's going to be get the current month. Okay, so order date is the current month you are going to be getting. So here, so use, this is the best one. So yeah, current date. Okay, yeah, so these are two are the fine. Okay, so this is how you are going to be get the this is the best one, I can say. This is the best one. So you are going to be get the records from the this is the best one. Okay, so you execute this one. So extracting the year and extracting the month from these two, and you execute it, you will get this record. Okay, update. So what is the update? What is the syntax? Update table, set column name. This is the column name. Set quantity equal to -1, whatever the current. So it is going to be get the whatever the current record is there, -1. Okay, where I'm updating for the particular book ID. Book ID may be 100, 1 or 2, 1 or 3, like this. Okay, so that's it. And I'm going to be check that before updating. I'm going to be cross check. Uh, is my stock quantity is greater than or 1 or not? That is, I'm going to be cross. If it is 1, then only it will execute, otherwise it will not execute. Simple update statement. Update table name, set stock quantity. I'm doing, let's suppose I have done one sale, book ID this one. So obviously, if I sell means whatever my current stock, let's suppose I have a 10 books. Okay, I have a 10 books. So I sell one book. So then definitely I need to do the minus one, right? So whatever the current stock 10 is there, 10 minus 1, 9. Okay, and updating this one where condition is book ID equal to 101. Okay, so this is how. The last one is list out all the for the specific for one customer. Let's suppose Smith is there. So I'm going to be get the order ID, order name, and here I'm doing the join, guys. What is the join? Join will join the two tables. I will tell you what is the join. Simply explain about the join. Suppose this is the table 1, okay, and this is the table 2, okay, table 1 and table 2. You want to get the data from these two tables, okay, common data between these two tables. So you in SQL Server you have the concept called joins. You have a concept called, so joins basically join the two tables records, okay, and whatever the common is there between these two, it is going to be get that record, okay. So suppose in this case you can see here you are going to be join the customer order table and customer table. Let's suppose this is your order table and this is the customer table, okay. Table A is order, table B is customer table, and you're joining with particular matched column, customer ID and customer name, customer ID and customer name. Okay, what do you mean by that? Order table customer ID, customer table customer ID. You are joining this table, and whatever the matched record from these two tables, you are going to be get the data. Okay, so this is how you are going to be get the data. You are taking the order table and you are mapping with the customer ID with the customer table. So then you are going to be get this record. Okay, so that's it about, guys. Thank you very much. So if you have any other queries, just let me know. Thanks a lot.